Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to this week weekly trade recap video. This week I got several more trades that I took and closed down as well, and I'll go over them one by one. So starting with Binance Coin, if you guys recall, Binance Coin, I took this trade last week before the market closed, so it's been running about a week now, and pretty much we have this bullish breakout from the price. We know that it broke out from this larger continuation correction, and I was waiting for a correction after breakout, which is kind of the entry that I always look for, and that is the entry here that I got in. And pretty much price just continuously bullish push up. There was a little bit of pullback here, and I remember I update everyone in my live market update. I said if this is going to form some sort of bearish continuation to drop down, I will take profit for about 3%. But that did not happen. That pretty much just had a pullback and then pretty much had a reversal, push up, correction, and then we just continuously push up from this bullish push. So now I just set actually a target at 500. I'm happy to exit here, just a round number that originally was going to exit about 400. Now that I earn extra profit, it's likely to form a bigger consolidation now that price has moved pretty much massively after breaking out of the higher time frame structure that we saw. And I'm happy to take profit here. It's going to run to me about almost 9 to 1 or so if I exit here. So I'm happy to take profit here. And then I'll still get back into the trade, but after I see a bigger consolidation, a bigger continuation correction that's going to form, and I likely to jump back in. But I'm happy to secure profit, and it looks like it's almost about hitting my take profit area. So very pleased with the result. My stop loss is about this area, about 420 or so, and just above this correction here. And I'll just see this last bit of the area, what's going to happen, and then move on from there. So that's the first trade still running. Binance Coin is currently running about 8% or so. So very massive run. Very pleased with the result and very pleased with my management. I didn't exit here. I was waiting to see if that's going to give me more bearish kind of price action to drop down. And if that did not happen, then happy to hold the trade. And that's kind of the result. Second trade I want to talk about is pound yen. So I got in on pound yen, mentioned about this double top M style pattern, and this is pretty much played out exactly kind of what I forecast. Price continued to correct itself up, kind of trapping a lot of impatient buyers here to try to look for the buy, and then just a strong, massive bearish push to the downside. So how I managed to get in? Well, I was waiting to see this ascending channel if it's going to complete, and pretty much it had that first sharp bearish impulse down. I saw some of you guys in my Telegram group. I saw some of you guys gone in maybe around this area. That's fine as long as that's in your plan. I personally was waiting for a little bit bigger correction that's a little bit more noticeable, and that is really the first correction I saw after this bearish move. So again, usually what I do for these kind of entries, I look for correction after breakout. So I set an entry order below, set a stop loss above, and then let the trade tag me in. Pretty much just push to the downside, another correction, push to the downside again. And then I was looking for continuation. I was really looking to see if we're going to go all the way down to the previous low. And then I saw a potential scale in opportunity here. This is a scale in opportunity that I usually take when I'm in the trade. When I'm in the trade, that's in profit already. And we broke this previous low as well. So that's my confluence to enter a trade like this. So I set another entry order for this move here for price to take me in. Initially, it did push down, and then it quickly just retraced back up during the London session, I believe, which is when I was sleeping. And so the second scale in trade, I got an actual 4% loss. But when I scale in the trades, I always make sure my first initial trade is in profit, is at least in one-to-one profit, if not more. So when I entered this, when I set this stop entry order, my first trade, I moved the stop loss to about 3% or so, 2.93% or so, and then pretty much just see this trade take me off for 1% loss, and then secure 3% profit here. So what's my management behind this now? Well, if this trade continue, I do still reasonably believe that we can reach all the way to the low. It might just be forming a bigger correction or a bigger consolidation here before the next down move, and I will still look to get back into pound yen because I like the higher time frame. I like we have a higher time frame M style pattern, which is a bearish reversal structure, bearish reversal price action, and I reasonably can see this break below the low, and if we can continue with more correction, then certainly can expect more downside from the price. So that is my management on pound yen. Took two trades here during the week. One trade resolved for 3% profit, the other one for 1% loss. Third trade I want to go over is pound dollar. So pound dollar, I've been talking about. We broke out of this higher time frame ascending channel. That's kind of how I'm seeing it. We have an impulse correction, impulse out of that higher time frame structure, and there is a kind of a flag, kind of a channel continuation correction. And if we look closely into this flag correction, at least there is a tendency of a structure. I talk about we need to have at least two swing highs and two swing low, which it counts towards, and we have a ascending channel moving the price correctively up to that channel, a flag area, and there is also a reversal correction here. So an impulse, reversal correction, and reverse impulse down, and it looks to me that there is a small head and shoulder pattern as well. So I just enter at when I see the first of a continuation correction after we broke out this small ascending channel. So impulse down, looking for a correction here and ending with the entry order, stop entry order below the correction, and stop loss above the high. Price tag me in and slowly moving down. And so, and then I saw that we broke out of that kind of a flag and channel structure, which is good. And I was looking to see if it's going to go down further. What I didn't like at the time when I was looking at this is we have that impulse down. Same thing with pound yen example, but they all had that retracement. And I didn't want to see this move continue to the upside to my break-even level. I already moved my stop loss to about 1-to-1, and then I move it to 2-to-1 when I saw this move downside. And this pretty much this pullback here just tagged me out for a 2% profit. But I'm still interested. I'm still very likely to get back into pound yen. I still like the overall bearish kind of price action. I like how we broke out of this higher time frame ascending channel, and there is a continuation correction to continue the price down further. And this little pullback here, if we can get a little bit more structure, a little bit more bearish price action here, I may look to get back into the sell and look for the sell for a little bit more longer term to see how the bearish momentum will continue. So that's the third trade, pound dollar. I got out for about 2% profit or so. Let's move on to Stellar. Stellar is a trade that I'm still in. Same thing with Binance Coin. Talk about Stellar again last week, end of last week, in the last week weekly outlook, and price pretty much had this breakout and then had this little bit of a correction, and then that's where I enter. Push up initially and then kind of push down and then kind of just hovering around this area. I update that my stop losses at break even. This didn't tag me out. This is from Binance spread, but I didn't get tagged out. My stop loss is still at break even, and price looks like it's reversing back up. There is some bullish price action now, so that's good. I want to see what will happen if we continue upwards a little bit. My stop loss is pretty wide, 60 cents or so it's about 4-to-1 or so. If I hit to about 0.70, I'm happy to kind of hold it. I like the overall price. I mentioned this in the last weekly outlook that the price to me is in bullish move, right? We have this impulse correction, looking for the next impulse. There's many buy opportunity when the price is in that impulsive stage of the price action, and I'm likely to see this can continue further to the upside. So that's the fourth trade on Stellar, still running. I think it's about 1-to-1 right now, and we'll see what happens. Also want to talk about Euro Kiwi. I talk about Euro Kiwi for a potential bullish up move, and this was what I was looking for. I had that impulse, we had that correction, and I was looking for a correction after breakout. And that was my mindset at the time to look for this entry. We had this breakout from that large kind of a flag structure. There was a descending channel in there and strong lower time frame impulse out of that large kind of a channel flag structure, and I was looking for a correction after breakout, which is what I always talk about in all my entries. This is a very good entry that I always look for. So correction after breakout, tag me in. Price pushes to the upside first, and I set my stop loss to break even as usual. And price kind of just pulled back here in this kind of a channel structure, almost take me out for break even, did not, and then kind of resume its bullish price, push up another small correction after breakout, and then price continued to the upside. But it failed to break the previous top. This is what I was worried at the time when I was looking at this, is it didn't break the previous top and it kind of slowly dropped down now. This is kind of when before I go to sleep, I think it's before London session open, before I sleep, I just move my stop loss up to about zero point 0.5 or so, 0.5% profit. I just didn't want to see this move drop down all the way to a break even again, which is kind of what it did. It pushes down once again. It didn't push all the way down to where the previous low is, but it's very getting close to my break even entry area. So I'm fine with the management to kind of secure 0.5%. I couldn't have secure one-to-one. I just wanted to give the price a little bit more room to move. And at the end of the day, I'm happy to take out for 0.5%. I didn't like that double top, that potential prices for me. But if this is going to form some sort of continuation of, this is going to be another correction on its own. So this becomes an impulse now. This is a larger correction in the making. Then I might still look to get back into the trade once again, because on the higher time frame perspective, I still like that we have this descending channel moving the price down. We have a reversal impulse correction, looking for really the next impulse up to the previous high. Okay, so that's the fifth trade on Euro Kiwi. So I secure about 0.5 profit or so, and then was looking to get back in next week if we get the opportunity. Last trade I want to go over is Kiwi CAD. So Kiwi CAD, I actually got off for about, I think it's about 0.25 loss around this area, and I'll explain kind of my reasoning behind it. Kiwi CAD, as I've been talking about, has been dropping quite a bit, right? We talk about all the way from the top here, this large ascending channel giving the price that strong bearish push down. And pretty much when I see price broke out of this larger higher time frame ascending channel, right? This is that staying impulse that we just talked about, and there is potentially a continuation correction here in the making to look for the next downside. And I was looking into the lower time frame to see if there's any possible entries. And I like how this kind of a continuation, again, seeing two swing highs and two swing lows, and this last bit of area moving up in some sort of ascending channel kind of correction. If we dig even deeper here, my entry at the time was, I see this small ascending channel or small ascending reversal, first impulse down, first continuation correction. Set my entry order here, set the stop loss above the high, price take me initially and pull back and kind of just stay consolidated in the red for a really long time before the next move down. And then just same thing with Euro Kiwi, just couldn't break the previous low, had a very sharp bullish reversal impulse, and there was a small bullish continuation correction. And this is probably around the same time when Euro Kiwi tagged me out, and I was looking at this. I didn't want this bullish continuation to just continue and take me off for a full percent loss. After I see it just couldn't break this double bottom on the lower time frame, so I just kind of manually exit this trade about here for about 0.25% loss, and kind of during New York section after it just kind of resumed its bearish trend. That's fine to me. I can only manage it accordingly to what I saw at the time, but this is giving me another opportunity to potentially look for another entry, because now that we see that this ascending channel completes, we're seeing this bearish move down. If there's a bearish continuation correction, some sort of correction on the lower time frame forming a head and shoulder pattern, we're still within this larger kind of a continuation correction, and the overall higher time frame bias is, to me, is still potentially a sell. And again, I will be looking to get back into this if the correct entry and correct setup happens. So that is the sixth trade I took. This one on Kiwi CAD took for about 0.25% loss. So to recap, Kiwi CAD 0.25% loss, Euro Kiwi 0.5% profit. Stellar is still running. It's running about 1 to 1% profit right now. Pound dollar, I exited for about 2% profit, but is looking to see to get back in here. Pound yen, first trade I got about 3%, and second trade I got a full 1% loss. So in total is 2% profit. And Binance Coin is the big one that I'm still running. Like I said, I will take profit at 500. I'm happy to take profit here. It's running about 8% right now, so exit for about 9.5% or so. So that is it for the weekly outlook for this week. Chat with you guys all next time in my weekly trading outlook live stream. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good weekend.